Day 6 of Parker's Anchor. Water's run low. Craft service is getting empty. Not sure how much longer I can keep doing this. The key grip is going crazy. He hit somebody with a C-stand. I think the gaffer's just been staring into an HMI. Mark's gone crazy. Wait. They found me. I have to go.
I'm Carson Holbrook. I worked on Gordon Family Tree, Man in the Trunk, and Parker's Anchor. On Gordon Family Tree, I was a boom operator as an intern. On Parker's Anchor and The Man in the Trunk, I worked as the first assistant camera.
I'm Laura Krause, and I served as the head of the art department on the set of Parker's Anchor.
My name's Danny Brown. I was the first camera assistant on Gordon Family Tree.
I'm Zach Krause. I moved a lot of things from one place to another and helped Laura in the treasure hunt for props.
I'm Bo Counts, and I work in production audio. I was the boom operator on Parker's Anchor.
My name is Mark Hampson. My name is Mark. How would you like me to say it?
Just say, I'm Mark Hampson, and I directed 3 movies that we shot in Arkansas. Gordon Family Tree, The Man in the Trunk.
Why don't you do it?
Parker's Anchor. That's all I need. I just need it once.
My name is Mark Hampson. I directed See, it's not that hard. My name is Ronnie Ursenbach. On Gordon Family Tree, I was the sound mixer and then later editor and sound designer. For The Man in the Trunk, I was the sound mixer and boom operator on set, and then later editor and sound designer. For Parker's Anchor, I did on-set editing.
I was camera operator. I did that, but then I was sort of a second unit DP as well.
Ryan and Jenica called me and said, we've got this project that we're doing in Arkansas and would love for you to be a part of it. And I've known Ryan and Jenica for a while through church and thought it'd be a fun thing to do.
Danny Brown is one of the main reasons that I am a camera assistant today. On Gordon Family Tree, as the boom operator, I worked closely with Ronnie Ursenbach, but I also had time to observe the rest of set and observe the people on set who were doing other jobs. I thought to myself, that job looks like fun.
I heard about Gordon Family Tree from my good friends Jenica and Ryan Schwartzman, and I was following along with them as they were writing it and sort of plotting it out and figuring out what to do, and they wanted to make this feature, and they told me about it, and so I said, I would love to do that.
I got connected to Parker's Anchor through kind of word-of-mouth referral. I do a lot of work here in Northwest Arkansas with my fellow audio engineer extraordinaire, Dwight Chalmers, and we do a lot of production audio around the state, and we got a call saying there's a movie in Arkansas, and they'd love to have us, and we would love to do it, and we did it.
Spent a lot of time with Dwight Chalmers, who is a genius, who was our on-set mixer. And he's basically, his responsibility was to collect the sound. We kept an open dialogue going about that sound so that we can fully prepare everything to go into post-production and make that transition as smooth as possible. I was a little protective over the position because it used to be my position. And Dwight runs circles around me in my sleep when I used to do that. It's ridiculous how much better at it he is than me.
I'm David. I'm the gaffer on this movie. I bring the light. It's been a great experience so far. Lots of good times. Lots of challenges. Yeah. Good challenges though, and I definitely think that that I've gotten the itch for feature films. So.
I expected it to be a fun, creative collaboration. I expected it to be much like it was. Fun and exciting experience. Whenever you try to create something of that magnitude with very little money, it's sometimes chaotic, but also very, very exciting.
I'll never forget one of the first conversations I had with Jenica. She asked me, what can I do to set you up to be successful in this position? Which made me know that I had signed up with a great team and calmed my nerves a little bit. So this was kind of my first big shot at a feature on my own. So they took a giant leap of faith. And I think they were as scared as I was.
The Man in the Trunk was the first time I had worked as a first assistant camera. And so it was a completely new job, completely new challenges. I had an idea of what it took, but you really don't know until you do it.
So Carson and John, they ran with us through the woods, and they were super awesome. And because we had no plan, and we just ran around the forest for 9 days. It was freezing cold, and there were no like time for measuring, no time for everything. It was like, here is the focus system. We're just gonna run with the camera, and you pull focus, and you do it well. That's your job. And he never complained once. And if we stopped shooting after 12 hours, he said, no, I want to shoot more hours. And why aren't we shooting longer? And why aren't we shooting in worse conditions?
Are we doing it right? Are Ryan and I putting all this effort into something that's going to end up working? And the combination of the crew that we know and we trust here, the crew that we know and we trust there, and our partnership with John Brown University and the interns, and mixing that all together, along with new people that we keep bringing in, through recommendations and discussion, just to make sure, and making sure that we're focusing on the right types of personalities and the people we want to spend time with, and less on the experience they might have, and focus on the training and the schooling. But again, the resume doesn't have to be a mile long. We just want to work with people who want to work on narrative film, because you can make more money working in commercial and working in different places, different parts of the industry, which many people in Arkansas do.
When we came back for Parker's Anchor, it was the largest budget of the 3 films. For our team, it was more of a family atmosphere because there was a lot of returning, not just our team returning, but a lot of the production heads were friendly faces and familiar people. So there's a lot of trust going in.
Is that coming from the Lego, or is that from a light? Because I got something warm over there.
Well, that's what I mean. Try cutting this main one that's hitting her from this direction. That might take the wall down and bring enough down on her.
Actually, you can this guy actually is. Hit me up when you're done.
Yeah, I'm really afraid of taking
Ooh, that's an exciting show you're watching.
Yeah, don't look at it. It makes us look bad. Our equipment is fine.
Arkansas is awesome. I love the people there. I thought it was really good filmmaking community in general. And we were actually amazed to find as many, highly capable grips there and different crew members. That was a little surprising to me.
Our intention was to bring very few people from California, use the majority of people from Arkansas. However, at the time we were still working on getting our connections. On Gordon Family Tree, we hadn't connected with enough filmmakers to really round out our crew with local people. So we brought a lot of people from California. However, with Parker's Anchor, we had the connections. We also had contacts of people who could connect us with other people. We brought 4 crew members from California. Aside from that, everyone was a local Arkansas crew member. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between this crew and their knowledge, their experience, their skill level versus people in Los Angeles.
You never know about the crew because you don't know where it's going to come from. You always imagine, on some level, having been from Los Angeles, that the world revolves around us here. But the more I go out into the country, and certainly as my experience was in Arkansas, there are a lot of people that want to make films and that love film, that love storytelling, which is really what you look for. And whether they're educated in college or have had, I think is on this film, a couple of people have been in Los Angeles and gone back. There's enough experience that they've gone into the deeper well of Los Angeles or New York, if you will, and can bring it to guide people. Sure, there's people doing wardrobe and makeup that do this and that, and they also do the locations, and mom brings food and all those kinds of things. But I know that's what we truly independent filmmakers rely on. I wasn't disappointed in any way. I mean, from the sets to the wardrobe to what we ate to the accommodations to the final product of the film, I would say it matched or pretty much succeeded my expectations. When you go into a small project, you think like, if you can just get it out and tell the story, it's good. And then you hope for the best, that somehow it all elevates.
I came into the feature film scene in Arkansas as a student. During that time, while I was unaware of it, a movie called Mud was being shot in southern Arkansas. that became one film that really kind of put Arkansas on the map. And it showed that there is an independent film community. They did bring in some people from Hollywood, but there were a lot of Arkansas locals who I later met who were on that film. The first film that I got to work on in Arkansas was Gordon Family Tree. That was in 2012. And from there, it just kind of grew. And it grew steadily, maybe a little bit slowly. But when I was living and working in Arkansas, I would work on at least 3 movies a year. And I made a living based off of other film and independent video production. Coupled with the low cost of living in Arkansas, people do successfully freelance and build a career based off of independent production work solely.
Everyone say hello to Production Day 10.
Hey, Production Day 10.
Production!
Production!
I hate you guys.
Production?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Slow, steady.
Because it does get slippery, huh? Oh my goodness. It's like
It's kind of strange because there's a group of us really dedicated people that work in production here in Northwest Arkansas, and Arkansas as a whole. There's a big scene in Little Rock for production, and we're really trying to work hard to make Arkansas an area that people take seriously for films. Of course, there's a lot of different things that need to go into play for that, both from the grassroots, like people that are here that know how to do it, all the way up to the state level, legislature. But, we're trying really hard to make that infrastructure here, people opening up studios, people just trying to stay in this area that have skills in production, to say, hey, we have it here. You can get top quality production work for a fraction of the cost, and it's a fraction not because it's less than, it's because it's cheaper here. The cost of living is cheaper here. Everything's cheaper here. A coffee is cheaper here, but everything's cheaper here. And I think some people translate more money equals better than, and that's not always the case. Sometimes you're paying for a zip code. Sometimes you're paying for the fact that you can say, oh, I'm from New York. And I've worked with people that are from a big city, get flown in here, and then we here in Arkansas that are working really hard are having to kind of tell them what to do. They're like, oh, I don't know how this works. Can you help me? And you're like, yeah, it's this, and this. And when you see that, you're like, why are we not doing more here in Arkansas? Why are people not taking us seriously? And that's what we're trying to work hard to show these people, is that we're a legitimate state that's doing legitimate work in this industry. And hey, we're over here.
Am I allowed to be honest?
100%.
I will say what I thought of the crew, the locals, whether they be interns or people that work out there. For the most part, I would say, this isn't real math, 90% of the people that were out there, if they didn't have the experience, they had the drive, or they had the care, or they had the want, or even if they didn't care, they still just did it. They just did what they were asked to do. But there's about 20% of the people that we worked with out there that are just stellar, absolutely amazing. I can't begin to thank them. I just also can't believe that people can be this good at what we've asked them to do. And I just can't believe, again, no offense to Arkansas, I just can't believe we found them in Arkansas, which just goes to show that it's about the people. It's not about where you find them. They're just absolutely incredible people that I pray are in my professional life for the rest of it. Not just professionally, personally, they're great too. Even our most recent one, there's people that I just can't believe how lucky we were that they were a part of this project.
Laura's a rock star, and I don't ever want to make a movie again without her.
About day 12, I remember saying, there's no way I will ever do this again in my life. And then about day 5, after we got home, I was like, okay, what's filming next? Where can I apply? I was addicted. After I got my sleep, my much needed rest.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, Mark.
We're almost there.
We are.
It's production day 13, technically wrapped. What time's our call time tonight for day 14?
1 a.m., which back in California is the day before.
That's true.
Good morning. It's day 14. We're filming at a warehouse right now. This morning we were filming at an airport. And by this morning, I do mean 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. We have a lot of exciting things going on. We've got car shoot today. We've got things happening left and right that happens on all independent film sets. And our picture car was damaged, and we had a few other like setbacks, but our crew is amazing. They've bounced back from everything with a smile on their face and a great big hug for me and Ryan. And we couldn't be luckier, happier, whatever.
I think you keep gripping.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm doing.
So, does this make the car bounce?
Oh yeah. Makes it bounce really good.
Oh, John knows how to make the car bounce.
Yep. Nothing but a big old piece of wood.
Hey, Alan, what you doing up there?
I am street lights.
Street lights?
Street lights.
Nice.
Like this. It's gonna look very legit.
Sweet. Looks great.
Thank you. You look great.
You look great. I'm assuming it looks great. I haven't seen it yet, but I believe in you. Hey, Cinnamon, what you doing, man?
Flagging.
Flagging?
Like this action here.
What does the flagging do for the car?
It makes it flash and look nice.
Nice. That's what we're looking for. David.
Hey, what's up?
What
How are
you doing, man?
My name's David, and I'm on day 13?
14.
I'm on day 14. I could be on day 15 and not know it. And I bring the light. See?
Nice. Those look like headlights.
Yeah.
Brilliant, sir.
Thanks, man.
What's up, Kyle?
Are we supposed to introduce ourselves like David?
Sure.
All right, I'm Kyle, and I'm on the lights. I mean, mirror.
The mirror? What does the mirror do?
It makes this thing.
Whoa.
It's like street lights,
That's amazing.
but with a mirror.
Mind blown,
Yeah,
sir.
it's pretty cool.
Cool. All right, well, I guess let's do our test. Roll. Hello, Carson. Hi. There's Dwight. There's all the other people. There's Ryan. So are we all good then?
Yep. Yeah, we're good.
So we'll watch this and then on the next one. Okay. All right, let's roll one.
Draw sound. Roll camera.
Speed.
Action.
Hi, this is day 15, and we're going to our last location of the film shoot, and I'm with Miss Vanessa Motes, who's an amazingly talented, super friendly, lovely presence to have on set. This is my makeup artist and hairstylist and lots of fun conversationalist. So how's your shoot been so far?
Oh, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Loved it, yeah.
And you've had to drive all the way to Fayetteville from Bentonville, but I'm guessing if there are other movies around Northwest Arkansas, or even all of the area, you'd probably be willing to go there, right?
Of course.
Yeah? Great.
So a lot of the times when you get the call that there's a feature being filmed in Arkansas, honestly, you just kind of go, oh, all right, cool. Someone's just churned out a cruddy screenplay, and it's going to be, you know, the pool cues with mics on the end of it, and it's just going to be this just ragtag bunch. And that's kind of what we've been used to a lot of years before this new scene has been starting to develop. But when we got this call, we knew it was different. Something that helps push this thing ahead instead of backwards. And so that's always exciting to say yes to. And they were really pleasurable to work with. You know, Dwight and I, we get to work with, I say get, sometimes we have to work with people from bigger industry markets. And sometimes that comes with a price, and it's not just a monetary price. It's a mental price, like putting up with people that, you know, look down on the South. And it sets a tone for the entire shoot of where you're like, oh, well, we're always going to be viewed as inferior, and then we're always going to view them as thinking they're better than us. And it creates a rift on set.
When I was very intimidated about the role, he said, if you ever want to put yourself out there and you ever want to take on a responsibility like this, you want to do it with this team, because they are going to be so supportive and so understanding, and they're not going to scream at you when you screw it all up. They're going to teach you as you go, and they're going to understand your shortcomings. So he was like, this is the perfect starter project for a solo show.
So you're dealing with a lot of people and a lot of different attitudes, and that doesn't necessarily make it any harder or easier. It's just a different way of working. You just have so many people involved making one thing. But when we were in Arkansas making this thing, it was like 10 of us, and we all, there was still a schedule and there was still a shot list, and we knew what we were doing. We just didn't have to deal with a locations department because we owned a location and we didn't have, there just weren't any problems and there weren't any politics really.
I have lots of friends in Arkansas now. I do not like Arkansas. Arkansas is not a fun place for me to be. That being said, Ryan and Jenica have managed to find this small community, and not like the community of the location, these actual people. And that's, to me, where all the good memories are from, is that scoop of people that they've managed to find and that have come with on these projects so far, and that I consider my honest to God friends. All the stories about good times are going to involve those people.
I feel like our crew that's LA based has a special place in their heart and they can't wait to go back. And people just laugh and talk and bond, and it's magical. And it really does feel like camp. I have a hard time not wanting to go to camp every year because of that.